Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Gran Turismo, the newest racing film from Blomkamp. Gran Turismo follows the real-life story of a gamer turned professional racing car driver. This film follows his journey into the GT Racing Academy into actually racing at Le Mans. For those of you that don't know his name, Blomkamp at one point was a rising star in Hollywood. He had directed District 9 back in 2009, which went on to be nominated for Best Picture. But since then, he's presented some underwhelming movies, such as Elysium back in 2013, Chappie, I think, back in 2015. He's always been a director that has a great, distinct visual style, but hasn't been able to recreate the magic from District 9. But it looks like he's actually delivered a pretty entertaining movie here as we close out the summer movie season. And one of my favorite parts about this movie are the visual effects that he incorporates here. It's really interesting seeing how our lead character's mind works, in that whenever he's racing in his racing simulator at home, he's visualizing being in a car, whereas whenever he's on a track, he's kind of visualizing just doing it at home. So it kind of gave us an idea of what's going on in his head, kind of how he's processing everything, and it made for some really fantastic graphics here in the film, and my hat's off to the visual effects artists. I know that they're being overworked right now, but I thought they did a fantastic job in this movie. That's got to be one of my favorite parts of it. Another one of my favorite things was just how the racing scenes were shot. I saw this movie in a Dolby theater, and just the sound of it all made my seat shake, literally. If you can see this in a Dolby, I highly recommend it. I'm a big racing fan myself, so it was pretty cool watching a movie that kind of put me in the driver's seat and made my seat shake, made me feel like I was actually there, and made the stakes so high. Because for those people that maybe aren't that into racing, I guess, you gotta get those people on board to feel the stakes of it all, and that it's not just cars driving around, you know, you're driving a rocket ship that has more G-force than what astronauts experience. And I thought the movie did a great job in showing that, both in its effects, you know, the performers did a good job of portraying that. It did a good job in the script of talking about how serious it is to drive a racing car, and the sound. Across the board, great job in showing the racing scenes. And the last race scene is fantastic. It makes you want to get up out of your seat. It's a great way to end the movie. Going into the performers, I really enjoyed David Harbour in this movie. He kind of plays that mentor that you expect him to play, but, you know, he adds his David Harbour flair. I love seeing him pop up in films, and I thought that he did a good job in this movie. And it was also nice seeing Orlando Bloom get some work. I feel like I haven't seen that guy in years. Now, he kind of plays the stereotypical businessman approaching things from his business angle, you know. At one point in the movie, he's trying to make a business decision over what's right, but you know what? I thought he did a good enough job in the movie, and it was good seeing him there. And then the guy in the lead role, I'm going to butcher his last name, but it's Archie Madikwe, I think is how you say his name. I thought that he was good in the movie. I didn't think that he was overwhelmingly great by any means, but he served the story well, and I thought he was good enough to make for a protagonist that we could follow. But with that being said, this movie is a fun time at the theater, but it's not by any means perfect. It's not like a great movie, but it's good. Going into some of the things that I didn't like about the movie, it's extremely cliche in parts. You know, if you've seen kind of a sports movie where maybe the parents don't believe in the protagonist, then you know how this movie's gonna go. A lot of it is stuff that you've seen a million times over, and I feel like the script could have used another rewrite, maybe just to cut some of that stuff out, because the movie is rather long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it really has no reason to be that. There's plenty of stuff that they could have cut in there. I would have liked it if, you know, they just completely chucked out the romance side of this thing, because the love interest in this movie was not well written. It was definitely just forced in there, and that's an easy, like, 5 to 8 minutes they could have cut out of the movie, because she doesn't play like a big role. So I just absolutely hated the romance in the movie. It had like no development, didn't serve the story like at all, could have completely been cut out. The stuff with the parents, I realize that you gotta, you know, have the parents in there, but it was just so cliche. The script could have used another rewrite, in my opinion. Those were some of the major issues that I had in the movie, but whenever you break it down, the stuff that needs to be good is great. The racing scenes are fantastic. You know, the lead in this film does a good enough job. The supporting roles do well as well. So if I had to recommend one of these three options, whether you should see it, stream it, or skip it, I would recommend you go see it in a theater, if you can, a Dolby theater, just to watch the racing scenes. But those are my thoughts on Gran Turismo. Have you had a chance to go out and see it? If you have, let me know what you think of it down in the comments. If you liked this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. See you next time.